Hello, students, and welcome to your English lesson. Today, we shall continue with Section 1 Prose, Lesson number 1.8 Voyaging Towards Excellence by Achyut Godbole. In the last video, we've seen how Achyut Godbole got the company of some brilliant people, and so he immersed himself not only in subjects consisting of technology but all the other subjects. So, here further, he goes on to explain his curiosity about getting to know so many things around in the world. So, he says that it is only because of human curiosity that we have been able to make such a great progress in science and technology and social sciences. Human curiosity, as in, we just want that quest of knowing why something is the way it is, or why is it not the other way around. So that feeling in us has made us develop our science and technology. From we can see the progress that human being has made right from the stone age time till today, how we have evolved through ages, and that is only because of the curiosity that each one of us has in them. So Achyut Godbole says that he has a number of limitations. Okay, we might now think that he was a great person, he was a very intelligent person, so he must have all the possible skills and abilities that every person would want to have. But he says that I am not a person who's different from the others. Like everybody else, I also have limitations. I have also have drawbacks. And one thing I'm proud of is the curiosity, humility, and humanity that is concern for our fellow human beings that I have in me. So I am curious, I am humble, and I feel for my fellow human beings. So I learned these values during my IIT days. So again, he gives the credit of learning all these values, especially when he was in IIT. He also became a firm believer in rationalism and equality for all the castes, creeds, races, genders, religions, and he started treating nature as God and humanity as religion. Because when you are exposed to so many people all around the world, you start respecting each of them, no matter which caste they belong, no matter which creed they belong, no matter which race they belong, or no matter which gender they are or religion they are from. You kind of treat every person that you meet in a very special way. You respect them for what they are. And then nature, because everybody is created in the likeness of nature, nature becomes God for you. And humanity becomes your religion. Okay, there's so no particular religion that you follow, but yes, every person as a human deserves to be treated in a good manner. Now, he passed from IIT. Okay, now his journey started this way, that he passed from IIT, then he joined a non-violent social movement for tribals with Sarvodaya. Then he participated in a peaceful satyagraha. He went to jail for 10 days, came back to Mumbai. He was jobless for a while, worked for 125 rupees per month to supervise workers at the night shift in a mechanical workshop. He changed 13 houses in Mumbai, and finally he settled on information technology as his career. So this has been the journey of Achyut Godbole right from the time he passed the IIT, and then he finally took up information technology as his career. Now he spent 32 years in information technology, out of which he was a chief executive officer, or MD, that is managing director, or the software head for 23 years for large global multinational software companies with thousands of software professionals worldwide, and six offices in the US, three in Europe, one in Japan, and one in Australia. So you can see the enormous experience that he has had, not just being a normal employee in the field of information technology, but he has headed the office of chief executive officer or the managing director So the exposure that he got was very very great. And also not only just in India that do, it was all around the world, that is in US, Europe, Japan, Australia, etc. So the person who has had such a great experience, you can only imagine how vast a knowledge or exposure he must have had. So he had to travel all over the globe around 150 times for only business. So if he, started counting the number of times he has been traveling, then only for business purpose, that is only for work concern, he must have traveled for 150 times, okay, around the world. And during this period, he also has written four books with 500 to 700 pages, and each of the books on information technology, which were published by Tata McGraw-Hill and then translated into Chinese for global distribution. Okay, because this is the language, again, it is found all around the globe. And so, not only in his English language or Marathi language that he wrote the book in, the book also was translated in another language so that people around the world could read the books that he wrote on information technology, which consisted maybe of 500 to 700 pages. So these are the four books that he has written. That is Ganiti, then Kimayagar, Manat, and Athar. Okay, so these are the four books which he has written during this period of time while he was traveling all around the world with business, but also sharing his information in the books that he wrote. Then he says, I learned a lot of things when I was running these large companies. The first one was the importance of teamwork. Now he's starting to share with us, like he just did not do his work, but while he worked with these great people, he has learned so many things. And the first important thing that he learned was teamwork. When you're working in a company or in a firm or anywhere, okay, anywhere when you're working, you have to work with a team. You cannot say that I will work the way I want, I will do things according to my wish and will. That doesn't happen, because when you're working with a group of people, and so teamwork is very very important. In today's world, nothing is possible without teamwork. You cannot do anything by yourself. Right from the house that you live in till the workplace that you go to, everywhere you have to work as a team. You cannot be successful if you are a loner and an egoistic person. Loner means a person who likes to be by himself, who likes to do things by himself, who doesn't like anybody else's contribution or anybody else's support or interference in his work or something like that. So those people are loners. They want to do everything by themselves, keeping in mind only about their own ways of doing particular thing. So this kind of person cannot be successful, because in order to be successful, you require the help of another people around you so that they can also contribute towards your success. And also, if you're egoistic, if you have this feeling that I am the best, I can do everything, I know everything, that kind of person also cannot be successful. Okay, so secondly, he says, first thing is teamwork that you require. Secondly, you need to lead from the front by setting a good example in front of your staff. Okay, so by this what it means is that when you're when you are at a higher position, when you are at a position where you have group of people working under you, then you are the boss. Okay, that is the thing, you are the leader. But there's a small difference between boss and leader. Being a boss means you want other people to do according to what you feel is right, and you don't consider them as important as you. And a leader is a person who does not expect or sit back and expect the workers to work, but he also leads the entire group in a particular task. Okay, so when you are at that position, you have not to be a boss. You should not be a boss, but you should be a leader, a person who will show good examples to the staff, who will show what it is to be a good employer. And so then the staff will also follow the same things that you have been doing. So that is the second thing that he learned. And the third was that you need to treat your subordinates, that is your juniors, and your colleagues as friends. Now, because of your qualification, because of your experience, if you are if you are at a particular position at your workplace, And if you have group of people working under you, that doesn't mean that you should treat them in a very strict manner, or you should be very rude to them. Nothing like that. You have to treat them, even if you're juniors, you have to treat them as your friends, and take them along with you as you all journey together towards the completion of a task. Okay. So he says in his career, he made a few mistakes. Like all of us are human beings, and human beings make mistakes. So he also, in spite of having such a good background and exposure and such a good experience everywhere, he too has made a few mistakes. But he learned a lot about motivation, being a good listener, target setting, and the art of delegation. That is how to distribute work to various people and get it done from them, which forms such an important part of today's management. So, if you students further go into management studies, you will read all of these things, or you will come across all of these things. And Achyut Godbole today is already making us aware about the various qualities that we all should have in order to progress and to be successful in our lives. After working for all these software companies for so many years, Achyut Godbole wanted to return to his first love. And what was his first love? That is to read and write on various subjects. Like from the school days, he used to like and love reading all the subjects that he had, all the subjects in the syllabus, whatever he got to hear from people around him, all the learned people who used to visit his house. So that atmosphere or that background gave him the love for various subjects. And so, after working for so many years in software companies, he just wanted to come back to, reading and writing on various subjects which concern human life and existence. Okay. So, like that, if you see, every subject is somewhere or the other contributing to the growth of human life. So, therefore, he gave up two offers of around 3 crore rupees per annum to become a writer. So, finally, when that urge comes right from within, that you want to do something that you love and not just continue doing something because it is paying you well, okay, or it is going to give you good monetary benefits. So there is something more than that, that is self satisfaction. And for his satisfaction, for his joy, for his happiness, he just turned down the offer of these offers, the job offers, which gave him a surety of 3 crore rupees per annum. And we are talking about this 3 crore rupees, which is years ago, and then 3 crore rupees is quite a lot of money. Okay, today also that is quite a lot of money. And so we see how Achyut Godbole has always chosen things which were for his own satisfaction and happiness. So here also he just said no to those offers, and he decided to become a writer. And this is how his second innings, that is after retirement, he became a writer in Marathi, and that Marathi writing started from that time. After this, he has written about 34 books in Marathi. Most of them have become bestsellers with tens of thousands of copies sold for each. So out of the all the 34 books that he has written, all of them in Marathi, because he had a mastery over that language. No doubt that English also was his forte, but he was much comfortable in writing in Marathi. He could express himself much better in his mother tongue, in the tongue that, in the language that he had been um, brought up in. Okay, so he has written books in that language, that is Marathi, and 34 books, and each of the books have tens of thousands of copies that were sold. However, it is not the sales or the money that is important to me, as much as the fact that these books have brought about very good changes in the lives of thousands of readers. The very fact, he's not saying that he was concentrating on how many copies were sold and how much money he was earning. For him, he looked at it in this way, that is, if thousands of copies are sold, which means there are people whose lives are changing because of my books. And that was the ultimate goal that he had when he had written so many books. After reading his autobiography, Musafir, okay, he has his autobiography which is written by him, and that is called Musafir. And there was a book on psychology, that is Manad. Hundreds have come out of depression, and than a dozen have given up thoughts of committing suicide and decided to start all afresh. Isn't that true, my dear students? This lesson itself is giving us so much of motivation, so much of encouragement. So you can imagine how much encouragement he must have given to those readers who have read his own autobiography and a book on psychology which explains what all goes in human mind. And these two books have changed the lives of so many people. They have saved so many people from getting into depression and also ending their lives. So of course, for a writer it is a big thing to save even a single life, okay, because of his book. There are hundreds who tell me that they understood the theory of relativity or Big Bang after reading my book on science, that is Kimayagar. How many of you have understood the theory of relativity or what is Big Bang theory? Very few of us have hardly understood. We have heard these terms, but we don't really know what it all means. But people who did not know, when they read the book written by Achyut Godbole, that is Kimayagar, they were so much enlightened in these two subjects. Then he further says his book Boardroom on Management has created at least 20 successful entrepreneurs. Okay, so 20 successful businessmen have emerged after reading his book Boardroom. Okay, so like this, he has written books on various subjects and various topics dealing and touching the lives of people in various fields. Then there are hundreds who tell me that they now can understand economic times or NDTV profit after reading my book on economics, that is Arthat. Okay, and many have turned to mathematics after reading my book on mathematics Ganiti. So, like this, he has touched the lives of people who were interested either in economics, either in mathematics, or in science, or in psychology, or any field that matters. He has written 34 books. So all these 34 books consisted of various subjects, and anybody who had interest in that particular subject could just grab his book and change the way of his thoughts. The same is true about my books on Indian music, and that book is Nadved, English literature book, Zapoza, painting, a book on painting known as Canvas, book on Western film, Limelight, and Western music, Symphony, or books such as Genius, series Rakta or Vitamins or Anartha. All these books deal with various subjects in human life. And it is these reactions of thousands of readers and the feelings that I am touching the hearts of thousands, if not lakhs, of my readers that keeps me going. When you know that one particular person has changed various outlooks towards his life just because he has read your book, it brings a lot of motivation and encouragement to you, my dear students. And it is not just about the writers, it's also about the teachers and all the people that you come across with. They are only trying to tell you whatever is good for you. And even if one child has made made a difference, or even if a teacher has made a difference in the life of one child, then her teaching has proved to be worthwhile. So likewise, Achyut Godbole also says the same thing. His writing is very valuable because with his writing at least one mind has been enlightened. So he's saying, why am I telling you my story? So throughout, after telling so many things, he's saying one thing is in my mind, that why am I telling you my story? Because when he looks back, there are a number of lessons and values that he cherished and keep learning about even today. So he doesn't say that, oh, today, after so many years of experience and after writing so many books, I know everything. I am, I am self reliant. I don't depend on anybody or I don't have anything else to learn. No, he does not think that. He cherishes all those moments, all those life lessons that he has learned, all the values that he has learned, and he hasn't stopped even today. Even today, he has so many more things that he keeps learning. So some of these are thirst for knowledge, most important thing in a student's life and in the life of a human being. If you have this thirst or the quest for knowledge, if you have this a feeling that you need to gain a lot of knowledge, as much as knowledge as you can, then you will never stop learning, you will never stop growing. Secondly, curiosity. You just, go around loitering, you don't know what is happening, you're just okay with things. That is not being human. Being human is the quality of having curiosity in yourself, the quality of asking questions about the existence of each and everything around you. That is curiosity. Then humility. You should be humble. You should not be egoistic. You should not be a proud person. You should not be a person who would boast about himself. Then you are never ever going to learn or grow. You have to be humble in the journey of life. You should have humanity in you. You should have feeling for people around you. You should be rational. You should kind of think about everything in a very scientific and systematic manner. You should have equality, teamwork, quest for excellence, never say die, thinking big. All these qualities he has kept learning throughout his life. So, at the end, my dear students, today, as we end this particular lesson, Voyaging Towards Excellence, I would only like to give you one message, that is, dream big. If you dream big, you definitely have to work hard. And if you work hard and you get success, the next thing is stay humble. These three things, if you do in your life, my dear students, nobody and no one can stop you from being a successful, a satisfied, and a well mannered, a well cultured, a happy person in your life. So never ever settle for small things. Don't just say, okay, I'm going to just finish my studies, my college, my junior college, and then I will just take up the business that my parents have set up, or will just do some job, or I will just work here. No, don't do that. You are born in a different way. Every person has a different quality that is gifted to you by God. And do not waste this quality or this life that has been given to you by God. Okay. So always remember that you must dream big. You must think about bigger things. You must think about bigger achievements. You must work hard for that. Just thinking that I want to become a manager, I want to become a director, I want to become a writer, I want to become a psychologist, I want to become a psychiatrist, I want to become a doctor. You want to become everything. But to become that, you have to work hard. Nothing and no one will give you success without doing everything. You have to work hard. That is the fact of life. And everyone who has achieved greater heights in life, they have worked hard. Nobody has achieved success without doing nothing. So always remember, to students, my dear students, to work hard and always stay humble. Keep up to your roots and never ever look down to others, no matter how high you reach in life. And I'm sure with these things, you will fly with great colors, and you will be successful, and you will be at the end of life be happy to look back and say that whatever I have done, whatever I have achieved, were worthwhile. Okay. So with this, my dear students, I would like to end this lesson, end this lecture. Read the lesson once again, get some more motivation, and decide from this moment that the few months that you have in your hand for your board exams, you're not going to waste. You're going to work hard, you're going to give your 100%. And tomorrow, if anybody asks you your success story, you should be proudly able to say that you have worked for where you are. So with this, thank you and have a nice day.